welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing yet another foundation review, and quite honestly, I think this is my most requested foundation review to do. I have had so many people ask me in the comment section, please review the YSL All Hours foundation. Please review the YSL foundation. I can't wait to see your review of the YSL foundation. I have been eyeing this foundation since before it launched, since it was on the Sephora app with a coming soon. I'm always eyeing new foundations, so rest assured I knew this was coming and I knew I wanted to try it. Let me go ahead and talk about packaging real quick because I don't have the full-size bottle of this. I have a sample that I got at Sephora, so I still have plenty to be able to tell you how it works. I've worn it 4 or 5 days, up including today. Still have plenty to show you the demo, but, well, hold on. Okay, let me put in a picture real quick of the packaging. Since I was in store to get the sample, obviously I felt the packaging. It is a very nice, weighty, frosted glass bottle, very luxurious, as it should be, because it is a $58 foundation and you don't even get an ounce. It's only 0.84 ounces, which I feel like is a thing with luxury foundations nowadays. Like my Givenchy is not quite an ounce. So I don't know if this is like a new trend, if this is a way they try to do one over on us, consumers that may not pay attention to how much foundation you get in a bottle and still charge the same amount, but it is only 25 milliliters versus the standard 30. Again, it's $58. It comes in 22 shades, and I know a lot of the negative comments and feedback on this foundation that I've seen so far is that they don't have enough variation in their deep shades. I find this to be the case for a lot of lines. It's unfortunate. I'm hoping that they are testing the launch and then they're going to bring out more shades. I don't know. I personally think they could have taken out some of the middle and fair shades and added some more deep ones, even for a like soft launch, because honestly, I don't think we need like 17 middle and light shades. But all the same, they do cover a wide gamut of undertones in the shades that they do offer. Neutral, neutral pink, neutral golden, golden pink. I mean, they have a lot of undertones. I am in the color currently BD45, which is bisque, and they describe it as a medium with a neutral undertone. So this would be my summer color. I believe I would probably be maybe BD40, which is a light medium neutral golden undertone. In the winter, possibly even BD35, warm caramel. So if you are, similar to my coloring now, which I know a lot of you are, that's just kind of an update on what I think my winter colors would be. But for this demonstration, I'm in BD45. Now, there's a lot of claims to this foundation, and I'm definitely not the first one to do a review. So I'll try not to stay too long on it. But basically, I mean, it's a 24-hour, which I'm so over the 24-hour claim. Nobody should wear their foundation 24 hours. It just doesn't make sense. Like, I would rather someone say super long-lasting foundation than 24 hours, because it's not practical. But that's just me going on a tangent. So they claim it's a full coverage foundation that instantly blurs pores and fine lines and provides uninterrupted flawless wear that looks and feels just applied all day. So what they're saying is that it's not going to feel uncomfortable throughout the day, even though it is a full coverage matte foundation, which a lot of times full coverage matte foundations, as you go on throughout the day, can sometimes feel tight or uncomfortable or heavy. And they say that it's just going to look and feel like it's just applied all day, every day. So it says it's transfer proof, oil free, non-pore clogging, move with you, flexible pigments, and skin loving ingredients. This is where I have a problem, YSL. You say, or they say on the Sephora app, that it has skin loving ingredients. At the very bottom, it says what else you need to know. It says All Hours foundation is made in France with the finest pigments and ingredients that respect and care for the skin. If that were true, I don't think that you would put denatured alcohol as the third ingredient. That is why I have not bought a full size. I'm not saying I won't sometime in the future, but right now I'm not gonna buy another foundation that has alcohol as a third ingredient. Do I have foundations in my collection now with alcohol in them? Yes. I try to steer clear of the ones that have it so high up on the list. And so I'm really taking that into consideration. The Dior Forever, I think it's the third one. The new Laura Mercier is the third one. It's becoming so prevalent. as such a high ingredient in foundations, and it's sad to me because I feel like surely there's something else we can do and put into a foundation to give the same effect. Maybe not, I don't know, but it kind of rubs me the wrong way that they're gonna say it has ingredients that respect and care for the skin. However, they put denatured alcohol as the third ingredient after water and a silicone. It doesn't make sense to me. So that is why I only have a sample, because I did want to put this review up for y'all. I did want to tell you my thoughts on the foundation, but I did not want to spend $58 for something that I knew I did not want to wear every day, every other day, no matter how flawless it looked on my skin. And I am not the type that's gonna buy something and then return it after I've made a video on it, knowing before I even buy it that I don't want the full size. Like, I can't consciously do that. So that's why I have the sample, so that you know throughout the demo and the check-ins and stuff as to why I don't have the full size. But we have gone over color selection, we've gone over price, we've gone over packaging and claims. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and jump into the demo. And so if you're interested to see how the YSL All Hours Matte Foundation works for me and my normal skin, then keep on watching. Okay, so we are gonna go in. I'm gonna show the primer and stuff that I'm gonna use. So I haven't done that yet. Today I'm going to use the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. I used this when I wore it last, so I already know how it's gonna work with it, but I feel like it works the best in my opinion, because you're not putting, because I don't have super oily skin, so I don't want to put like a mattifying primer, which I don't even need to begin with, on top of or underneath a matte foundation. So I'm going to start with this, and I just take a couple pumps and I put this all over because I don't have oily skin, so I like to have that all over glow. I am going to color correct real quick with the Lancome Tint Idol Ultra Wear Camouflage Corrector. This is in the color Peach. Now I'm going to go in with the foundation. So again, I'm in the color BD45, and I am going to use my palm brush, which I just uploaded a video on this. I guess it was my last video, which I filmed over a week ago, and I can't stop using this. I've used this every day since. I really like it. So because I have a sample pot, I can't tell you exactly like how many pumps I'm using, but I think y'all can get a gist. So I'm just gonna apply it. Now real quick, I don't have, I have my normal redness to cover up. I did get a hydrofacial yesterday, which I filmed for y'all. So I am excited. I think that's gonna be the next video if we can get it edited in time. Chad came with me and we filmed the whole process for y'all because I talked so much about it in my skincare video. So I'm excited about that. But because I have a little bit of like red irritation right here. It's really nothing. A little bit right here, and then just regular red cheeks. So other than that, I don't have that much to cover up, so keep that in mind. So I'm just gonna take my palm brush and blend it into my skin. So, you like my foundation lips? So this side is the no foundation. This side is the foundation. So it is it's a strong medium coverage. I can still see my spot down there, and I can still see a couple right here. So I'm not gonna say it's like full coverage. I do think you can build it up to be that way, but right out of the bat, it's a strong medium coverage. So I still think that if you have stuff you want to have covered, it's going to do what you want it to do, but without looking like a mask, which obviously I think is everyone's end goal. So it doesn't like dry down automatically, which a lot of matte foundations, I feel like you have to work really fast with them or they're gonna dry down on your face before you can get a chance to properly blend them in. I don't find that to be the case with this one. Oh, I love this brush. I feel like a little bit goes a long way because while it looks like I'm putting a lot on my face, this little sample container can only hold so much, and this is like my 4th or 5th time using it, and I still have half the sample left. So if that tells you anything, I don't know that you would need more than 1 to 2 pumps at the most. I feel like this is a type of foundation because of its consistency and coverage that it goes a long way. Okay, so that is the full face with the foundation on. If you saw, it went on very, very nicely. It covered up my redness enough to where I'm not, I'm not self-conscious about it. I still see a little bit peeking through right here, but it's nothing I need to build upon. So I do feel like you're gonna get very adequate coverage out of this right off the bat without feeling like you have to use too much, which in turn starts to look a little bit cakey. But this is such a thin formula that I just don't think you need it. It is still very tacky. You know, I'm not going to wait long enough to see if it firms up to where you don't have to set it, because like I say in every foundation video, I always set my foundation. I just, from initial, like I feel like the foundations that I really would say you don't need to set, by this time of application, it's already set down. So I think you're gonna need to set this. Now, it's hard to tell because I do have that illuminating primer on underneath it, but I will say that I don't feel like this is a flat matte finish, even with no primer underneath, or a mattifying primer, or a regular primer. It has a little bit of a skin-like glow to it, in my opinion. So, you know, if you do have super oily skin and you want to stay away from anything that is not like 150% matte, you may not like this. However, it does easily powder down to a matte finish, so do know that. So I'm gonna go finish up my makeup as always, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have finished all of my makeup, and of course I put away my mirror so I can look up close and tell you what I think. I will do a close-up here in a second, but everything like went over it perfectly. Of course I'm doing my cream bronzer now with the palm brush, and that just freaking magical brush, but I'm gonna stop talking about it because I think it's overtaking this video. I used the Chanel powder. Y'all know I love this powder, and it really does work with every foundation. So my pores do look good, and I was able to, you know, mattify it down with the powder. So let me zoom you in. So you can see like my pores, hopefully this is in focus. My pores do look really good. It really does. Well, let me zoom you out first. I will say that while I did not write notes every day, like I normally do for my foundation reviews, because I don't think I'm buying the full size, and I should have still written notes because it's still a review either way. But I have used this with multiple powders and multiple primers, and it does work with all of them. I like the Too Faced powder with it because it's a little less mattifying, so it gives a little bit of more of like a natural glow to the face. I would not choose to like put a super mattifying powder over this because I just don't think it needs it. If you are oily, I still suggest using a mattifying primer versus a powder, because when you start doing like lots of matte powder and lots of it, that's when the makeup becomes really noticeable on your face. So I don't really have any like super matte powders, and I wouldn't suggest using that on top of it, but I think even still, it would look pretty flawless because it is a flawless looking foundation. It worked well. The consistency I talked about in the demo, the finish I talked about in the demo, you saw the application in the demo, and now you see the finished product right after applying it. Now it is early right now, well for me anyways, for putting on my makeup. It's 9:15. I'm actually going to the gym this morning versus tonight, and I will check in with you. I'm probably only going to do one check-in. I'll check in with you later tonight. We'll see how long this foundation stays on. I'll kind of mark throughout the day if I feel like it's wearing off, if it looks better at some point than it does the other, and come back with some notes for y'all. But so far, this is what the foundation looks like right after application and the finished product of my makeup. So if you want to see how it wears throughout the day, then keep on watching. Stay right here. I'll be back in probably 10 to 11 hours, but just a second. All right, guys, so it is 7:45, which has been 10.5 hours of wearing this foundation. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet and let y'all know that even if I weren't having an issue with the alcohol content in this, I don't think I would be buying a full size of this foundation. It's not bad. In fact, it looks really flawless upon first application, like I think I mentioned in the intro and demo. But my thing is, I felt like I could see makeup on my skin. Like my Givenchy looks flawless on my skin, but it looks like skin. Like I don't ever see the makeup sitting on top of my skin. I feel like I do with this, and I'm gonna do like close-ups in just a minute, but you know, it kind of cracked in my smile lines, and it's coming off on my chin, and it doesn't look the best on my forehead. And just kind of around my nose, it looks a little cakey. I mean, let me actually like zoom y'all in so you know what I'm talking about. So it's come off on my chin a little bit, and this is like where I'm starting to have a few like broken capillaries and stuff. And so, you know, I don't want the redness peeking through, and it's peeking through. It's kind of coming off. If you can see in my smile lines, they're just a little bit exaggerated, which, you know, comparatively is maybe not a big deal, but I have foundations that don't do that, so that's what I'm comparing it to. My brow's coming off. Do you like that? It's been a long day. It's kind of like, I feel like it's accentuating my not so like tight skin right there, and my pores don't look the best right now. And I feel like right now, like, do you see? I feel like it looks like it's cracking when I smile or laugh, and I'm getting like, I don't know, it's kind of coming off around my nose. Forehead's okay, but you know, I always patch. If I'm going to patch, I feel like I always patch up there, and it is patching a little bit like right over here. That's the close-up. And quite honestly, it felt tight on my skin, which I have that issue with foundations that have higher content of alcohol. It feels kind of tight throughout the day. I did have to spray my face quite often with like a Mario Badescu spray or my Clinique Moisture Surge spray or something like that to kind of moisturize my face, because I did feel like it felt a little bit dry throughout the day. So those are my biggest concerns with it. So while I don't think it's a bad foundation, and while, you know, this is a decent wear for 10.5 hours, I certainly have quite a few other ones that I'm looking at right now. I know I'm always like looking behind the camera, but once I finally get to my tour one day, y'all will see that that's where all my foundations are. So I'm like looking at all the ones that I have that I know work so much better on my skin and look so much better after 10.5 hours of wear, that I'm not tempted to buy the full size of this. And like I say, even if it didn't have alcohol content, I mean, I probably still wouldn't be tempted, because it's just not the best looking on me personally. Now, I know this has amazing reviews, and I know other people have just sang its praises, and that's fine. That is what makes us different. And I've said it before, and I'll say it till the day I die, and it's something I try to ingrain in my kids' brains as often as possible, that we are all different, and praise Jesus that we are, because wow, the world would be so flipping boring if we were all the same. So I respect the fact that stuff works for y'all that doesn't work for me. I ask that you respect the fact that stuff doesn't work for me that may work for y'all. It's what keeps Sephora in business, y'all. I mean, that's what makes them money, because we're all different and things work all differently for me. This one is just not one of the things that works well for me. So I'm quite eager to go downstairs and wash my face, and quite glad that I didn't spend $58 on it. So hopefully this answered some of your questions. I know, like I said, it was a very, very, very requested review. So hopefully you got something out of it. If you did, be sure and let me know. If you've tried it and love it, or if you've tried it and didn't like it, I want to know. I want to know everybody's experience with this foundation. So let me know down in the comment section. Be sure and like and subscribe if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a very blessed day.